So in the next half hour or so, I'll provide you with an overview of the key themes and trends that we're seeing in this marketing automation and social software segment. So let's get started. So we will discuss three topics today. The first one is the current state of digital marketing technology. So I keep referring to this as also as MarTech. So where are enterprises on their MarTech journeys? So that's our first topic. The second topic is what's the customer satisfaction with their marketing software? Here we look both at marketing platforms, products, and specialist software as well. Thirdly, we look at what are some challenges with MarTech that customers are telling us they're facing and how you can overcome them to increase your overall marketing technology effectiveness. So whether you wear a technology hat or don the mantle of a marketer, you'll have a lot of food for thought after this session. So I guarantee you that much. With that, welcome once again and let's get started. I see that a lot of you are joining us for the first time. So I thought I'll give you a very quick introduction to the Real Story Group. Real Story Group, or RSG, is an industry analyst and advisory firm. We are known for our in-depth and hard-hitting evaluations of various enterprise software products. There are a ton of places these days where you can read how great a piece of software is, but there are very few places which also emphasize the weaknesses and gochas of these software products. And I'm happy that RSG is one of those places where you can get truly independent and objective evaluations. And that's because we are independent. So we don't shill for any of the vendors that we evaluate. We don't do any joint go-to-markets or write white papers or accept any business from them. So we work only for buyers of technology and never for vendors. So we're not beholden to the vendors that we review. And I guess that's why our reviews and advice is always no holds barred. So at RSG, our bread and butter is digital workplace and digital marketing technologies. So what you see here is the subway map, which is the entire product universe that we cover. So there are nearly 200 products that we evaluate across 7 key technology streams. So this subway map, which a high resolution version of this you can get at realstorygroup.com/vendor map. This is handy to understand which vendors are present across the different segments and which vendors are specialist vendors that are focusing on a specific marketplace. So that's a very quick intro to Real Story Group as promised. So let's dive into our main topic today. So what's the current state of marketing technology? So I want to give you a bit of a background about an industry survey that we did a few months ago. So we conducted a survey mainly with customers of this technology, but also some consultancies and systems integrators. This covered both business to business and business to consumer, both B2B and B2C marketers. And we also had follow-up discussions with some of them. And there is a detailed report and an advisory paper based on the survey findings that is coming out next week. So if you participated in the survey, you should be getting that. So today in this webinar, I'm going to focus on what I think are the top 5 findings from this survey, and also provide some commentary on the practical implications for you as a practitioner. Please note that this sample size for the survey was 75 organizations. And this is represented across different organization sizes, but the sample skews towards large enterprises, which tend to be our customer base. So the first headline is that despite hype, we're still very much in the early days of marketing technology adoption. So if you are a marketer wondering whether you're behind the curve, let me assure you that there is no need for FOMO or fear of missing out. The marketing activities are not all automated at this stage. So as you can see, half the enterprises, I mean, in B2B it is 52% and B2C it is 54%, that mentioned that they're just starting out. Less than a third are saying that they're reasonably mature or very mature. That's the current state. So what this means is that the technology is still evolving and it's still maturing. So as a practitioner, if you embark on such projects, please expect some surprises and bumps along the way. And it's also interesting to peel the onion, the layers of the onion a bit, and see that since such a large number of enterprises, or a large proportion of enterprises, is in the just starting phase, there are different stages of the just starting phase itself. So there are enterprises which are just considering implementing a marketing automation solution. There are some who have selected a tool. There are yet others who are piloting a few use cases, and some others are in the process of widely deploying across the enterprise some of these tools. So all of these enterprises are in the just starting phase. So if you haven't still taken up some of these projects, I think you would be in the majority of the customers. So the next interesting thing that we found out was, yes, among the early adopters or people who have implemented marketing technology solutions. By marketing technology solutions, I mean, I'm focusing mostly on marketing automation and social technology here. Only 47%, less than half, say that they have the right tools. And even less, just a third, say that they make full use of these purchased tools. I mean, that's staggering if you just pause and think about it. So what does that mean? When you don't have the right tools, it means that it's not easy to realize your use cases. And it also means that these tools that you have need extensive customization to meet your requirements. So that's the implication of saying we don't have the right tools. So what does it mean that people are not fully leveraging their purchase tools? Obviously, that suggests that the tools are complex and require handholding. And also that you may be over purchasing these tools. You may be making the procurement decisions before your internal teams are ready to implement these tools, or you may be buying modules, some additional modules that you may not necessarily need. So you end up buying and paying for a lot of technology that you really don't use. So we have a question here from Matt, who asks, does 35% on the right represent the entire sample, or just 47% that have the right tools? So this is, Matt, the entire sample, not just 35% of the 47%, but the entire sample. So like I said, we will be mailing out the survey report later next week, which has additional details about the specific demographics, who took this survey, and some more insight and commentary into this thing. So if you want a copy of that, please do reach out to me if you haven't taken the survey. If you have taken the survey, you will get that anyway. So the next finding, this I call the Murphy's Law of MarTech, which is that all projects seem to take longer and cost more than expected. It's again a very stunning finding from a sense of the underperformance. Only 40%, nearly 40% or 39% of the projects are completed on time. And the number is 55% for projects that are completed on budget. So what does this suggest? I mean, this suggests that there are unrealistic expectations on the customer side, whether the vendors are feeding those or the customers. It doesn't matter. I mean, the expectations are not grounded in reality. I mean, because you have legacy systems, I mean, you have valuable legacy customers and legacy data, and integration takes time, and validating and data quality, it also takes time and resources. Even if you think that you're buying a SaaS software, please don't think that the software is not complex. All rollouts involve change management, and user training and adoption needs time. So if you're embarking these projects, please be aware that unless you're an atypical customer, you also can expect to face some of the same issues. So another interesting finding is that is related to the expertise that companies have with respect to MarTech. Only half the enterprises report that they have the right level of internal expertise. So that means that there is a heavy reliance on external resources. In the short term, it's okay, but probably that's not sustainable in the long term because you're not building that competence in-house, or it is it's too expensive. I'm sure all of you have read about the shortage of data scientists. I think it's the same with marketing resources. So folks who can help your enterprise take advantage of things like marketing automation, data-driven marketing are tough to come by. So we think that lack of expert resources is one of the main reasons that's holding back enterprises. So last year, when we put out an analysis of the marketplace, we said that the best MarTech investments are the ones that you make in your people and teams. And I think I can say that again this year too. So please continue to invest in building internal expertise, whether that takes the form of a center of excellence or joint initiatives with your vendor and consultancies, etc. So please continue to build out your capabilities. So probably the first four findings are not too surprising. You probably were surprised by the extent of underperformance, but you probably broadly expected them anyway. But what to me is surprising is what I call the slow embrace of mobile. So mobile marketing doesn't seem to figure high on the marketer's agenda yet. This is surprising because from our own experience as consumers, as well as from the data, we see that consumers spend more time in apps than on the web. And I was looking at some data, and adults in the US spend nearly 3 hours per day on mobile devices, but only 2 hours per day on desktops and laptops. I'm sure the number is like drastically different in and skewed towards mobile devices when you consider millennials and teenagers. But the marketing priorities, projects, and dollars do not reflect this shift. And you may think that it's only B2C marketers that need to worry about mobile shift. But I would think that in this day, even B2B marketing is not exploiting the full potential of the mobile. And so as marketers, I think we should pay more attention to mobile experiences. So that's the main findings in the first bucket. Like I said, you'll receive a copy of the full survey report if you participated in the survey. So please do look out for that next week, which has, 10 other findings that will be of interest to you as you plan your marketing initiatives. So now let's look at how satisfied customers are with their marketing software. So let me just explain what we asked and the scale that you see here. So we asked customers to rate their satisfaction on a 4-step scale, with not satisfied equals 1, somewhat satisfied 4, satisfied is 7, and 10 is very satisfied. So the overall aggregate average is 5.8, which is less than satisfied. So the number is 126, though there are 75 organizations, because organizations are using multiple products. So why is there this dissatisfaction? It can be caused by many factors. Obviously, it's not meeting expectations. The customers are not able to leverage that tools, so that also will be reflected in the product dissatisfaction. Or probably the tools are expensive for the value that they're delivering. So what's the bottom line here? The bottom line here is if you're a typical customer, you're not happy. So if you're a potential customer, if you're implementing these tools, this suggests that perhaps you need to do something different to get the bang for your buck.